If I would say that a digital synthesizer makes better feedback than an electric guitar, would you say I lost my mind? Probably many of you would. I have to say that me 15 years ago would say exactly the same. However, Audrey II I don't want to say it's better, but it's definitely going to give you control that you just can't have with an acoustic instrument. And even if you would have a complete Eurorack system where you would patch a perfect feedback circuit, it would still be much harder to control in comparison to Audrey. Before I continue, I just wanted to highlight that the firmware is an open source project by Nick Donaldson from Infrasonic Audio. I designed the interface you're seeing here, but the synth engine and the sounds you're about to hear are all programmed and tuned by Nick. Let's start with guitar feedback. Feedback happens when the sound coming out of the amplifier gets picked up by the guitar's pickups. It is then amplified again and sent back to the speaker, over and over and over in a loop. When the loop reinforces a specific frequency, it turns into a sustained squeal or howl. High volume, close distance to the amp, and distortion makes this loop stronger, which is why you would normally want a larger speaker than this one. Add some reverb and the whole space is filled with textures, harmonics, and just pure beauty. Now let's see how this is done on Audrey. Audrey is a feedback Horrorscape synthesizer, and as such, it is running a delay line at its core. It's basically, technically, a burst of pink noise that is going into a string emulation, so it vibrates the string. This goes into a reverb, which is basically lots of delay lines, into another delay line right here. This is the body knob, and then back to itself. In this process, there are also two filters, low pass and high pass, which means that we can tame and control some of the harmonic information to really shape that feedback. There's also a frequency knob right here, so I can change the frequency of that string that we're vibrating, if we take the analogy of a guitar. Now if we kill the reverb, we can actually get some really weird sounds here that are very cool and very unconventional and not really the stuff that you could get from a guitar, I guess, or from like a feedback loop in a mixer, or yeah, let me show you what I mean. There's also another delay here. I'm gonna kill that right away, so we can just listen to the feedback with no reverb. And this is it, basically. Low pass, high pass. And if you're hearing on headphones, you'll see how the sound is actually sent in different directions. That's because there is actually an LFO somewhere around here that pushes the harmonics in to different places, basically. And as I turn this knob, the feedback knob, up, the further I go up, the more energy I'm sending into the feedback loop. So it'll basically start distorting at a certain point. So then no matter if I'm going to change the frequency, because there is so much energy, I'm going to get... This is not really something that you can do with a guitar. Send it to the reverb. And since the reverb is part of the feedback loop, it's as if you're now sending the guitar into reverb and then feeding back into itself. And it can get quite crazy. Now the delay is really straightforward. I'm going to mix some of the signal into the delay. So I just sent this. And if I have now some repeats, I have a tape delay. The nice thing about tape delays is that they can also feedback if you don't have enough feedback in this unit. And this tape emulation is absolutely stunning. It'll distort, it'll create, you could also create like rhythms with this switch right here, because it's basically changing the speed of the tape, the time. So now we have this rhythm that I created here, and just listen to this. And I'm going to turn off the input, so it's not going to get any of the new signal that's coming in. I'm going to lower the feedback because now it's really blooming and it's getting more and more and more aggressive. I'm going to slightly change the time and add some feedback on the left. Let's send a bit more into the delay. And that's basically how you would sculpt feedback, control it, as if it was not a wild thing that's happening when you get closer to your amplifier and gets this really squeaky noises. I hope this video opened a little door for you when it comes to emulation of analog and physical things. Pushing a concept like feedback with an emulation can take us to uncharted territories, to places that are simply not possible with the conventional way of doing things. And although I'm not planning to sell my electric guitar, when you need more control over feedback in the studio or in a live set, or simply when you just need a quick thing that you can plug to your power supply and listen to, there aren't many instruments that will sound so powerful and feel so natural to play, like Audrey. Two small things before we wrap up. Audrey is also available on Simple Touch, our little instrument with touchpads and Daisy, so you could upload the Audrey firmware on it and have fun. There's also a stereo input there and touchpad, so that's a little world on its own. And there is the sample pack, thanks to our community on Discord. If you guys want to download the sample pack, it's completely free and you can use it for whatever you like. And join us on Discord if you want to join such challenges in the future. And in general, if you want to meet other makers and synth nerds out there in the world, this is probably the place. See you guys in the next one. Ciao.